Dad, have you ever someone lied to you before?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
That's right, you tell him, Mr. President.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong.
Alright, it's time to explain to you the whole story. Yes, I did have someone lie to me. It happened in 1995 between two people. Then President Bill Clinton and then White House intern Monica Lewinsky. It all started in June 1995 when Monica Lewinsky becomes a White House intern. In November 1995, she then meets Bill Clinton and they begin their sexual relationship. Later that year, in December, Lewinsky moves into a paid position in the Office of Legislative Affairs. She frequently visits the Oval Office. Then, in April of 1996, she meets a career government worker named Linda Tripp. Watch out for Linda Tripp though, because she's important in this case. Linda Tripp is important because in the summer of 1996, Lewinsky starts to feel comfort in Tripp, to the point where Lewinsky starts to tell Linda Tripp about her relationship with the president. Things start to change though, because in the fall of 1997, Linda Tripp starts to tape her conversations with Monica Lewinsky about her relationship with the president. Her motivation for recording her conversations with Monica Lewinsky was to publish and sell a book about the whole scandal. By the start of 1998, Linda Tripp has more than 20 hours of recording. Do note that Linda Tripp lived in Maryland during this time, and the law in Maryland states that both parties have to consent before audio recordings are taped, but Lewinsky never agreed to it, let alone she didn't know that Tripp was recording, so what Linda Tripp doing was technically illegal. A lot starts to happen on January 12th to 13th of 1998, where Linda Tripp sends the recordings to Judge Ken Starr in exchange for immunity for prosecution. Those recordings allegedly had Lewinsky lie about the whole affair under oath. Then, on the 13th, Linda Tripp meets Lewinsky at a hotel and is wired by FBI agents to record their conversation. Also on the 13th, the Clinton v. Jones case begins, eventually ruling that presidents are not immune from federal cases. Then, on the 26th of January, Bill Clinton utters his famous words, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky." But it turns out that he lied, because on August 17th, 1998, Bill Clinton addresses the nation and admits to what he did, and admits that he did have a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. After lying to the public, Bill Clinton's impeachment trial begins when the new year starts. Now, there's a lot more to this, and it gets really messy, but this is the most important details from this whole scandal. Wait, but Dad. Now, if you were to ask me about this situation, I would tell you that Linda Tripp is the most important person in this case. Yes, Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky were the ones directly involved in it, but without Linda Tripp, this whole situation would have not been brought to the public eye. But the problem is people are divided on whether it was morally right for Linda Tripp to record her messages and her phone calls with Monica Lewinsky. And from my personal opinion, I believe that Linda Tripp was in the wrong in this situation. What she did was morally wrong because if we look at categorical moral reasoning by Immanuel Kant. Wait, Immanuel Kant? Yeah, Immanuel Kant. He's some 200-year-old philosopher from like the 1800s. But Immanuel Kant says that something is morally correct if it passes these three things. The first one is you must do the right thing for the right reason. The second one is you have to respect human dignity, meaning that you're not going to use other people as a means of benefits. And 3, it has to pass the universality test. Now, if we look at the first reason, we can see that Linda Tripp did not do the right thing because her motive was to make a profit from the recordings so that she can publish a book. And that is not the right motive because the right motive to record the conversation was to use it as evidence if anything ever happens. But she did not want to record because she wanted to save a friend. She wanted to record because she wanted to make a profit of her friend's misery. The second reason states that you cannot use somebody as a means for anything, which means that you need to respect human dignity and not use them as means for your benefit or for any benefits. In this case, Linda Tripp was using Monica Lewinsky's relationship with Bill Clinton as a means to make a profit, thus benefiting herself. This is not the morally correct option because somebody's pain and somebody's problems is meant to be confined and not shared with anyone unless given permission to. So for Linda Tripp to want to publish a book about this whole problem, knowing that Monica Lewinsky trusted her with this type of information, means that she's going to be using Monica Lewinsky as a means to benefit herself. The third guiding principle behind Immanuel Kant's categorical moral reasoning states that the action must pass the universality test, and that's pretty straightforward. What that means is, if you do an action and for it to be deemed morally correct, means that you are okay with everyone else doing the same. In this case, ask yourself if you're okay with either you or somebody else being used as a means for someone else's benefit. I would say that it was not morally correct for Linda Tripp to record and send the recordings to a judge, because saying that it's right for Tripp to use Lewinsky as a means for her own benefits when Lewinsky trusted her enough to share her information and to keep it private means that you're okay with other people using you to make a profit and benefit from it. We are all born as equal human beings, and we want to be treated like humans, not as objects or anything inferior for someone else's benefit. We can all agree that being used for someone else's pleasure is not a pleasant thing that we want to experience, and we wouldn't be okay with someone else backstabbing us by recording our private information that we shared with them, and for that information to be leaked for everyone to hear, especially if it benefits that person, but it also harms us. Being used for someone else's benefit is not a pleasant thing to experience, and we can all agree that nobody likes to be used, unless you do, and if you do, then we need to have a long talk about it, but not right now. But hey, if you like it, you do you. So there you go, son. That's basically the Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky scandal in a nutshell. To recap, Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton engaged in a sexual relationship during that entire time, and during that time, Monica Lewinsky leaked the information to her friend, Linda Tripp. And Linda Tripp was the most important person in the scandal because without her, this news information that I just shared with you would have been leaked for the entire United States to see and possibly even the world. And also, by her leaking it and making it publicized means that she also didn't do the right thing at the same time because first off, her motive to do it was not the correct motive because her wanting to publish a book about her friend's experience with the president is not the right motive to record, as the right motive to record is to use it as evidence if anything ever comes up and also as evidence to protect her friend from any problems that might arise. Second, she didn't respect Monica Lewinsky's human dignity, where you're not supposed to use other people as a means to make a profit or to benefit from yourself. And in this case, Linda Tripp was using Monica Lewinsky as a means to benefit herself. And the third reason is that it doesn't pass the universality test because you wouldn't like it if somebody else used you as a means for their benefit and for their profit as well. Alright, son, I noticed that I cut you off earlier, and I'm sorry for that. What were you gonna say before I cut you off? Oh, I was gonna ask if you could repeat everything. I have no idea what you said. I'm only in first grade.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
The end.